what it mean to be the best. Riding foes, feeling unimpressed, make me reminisce. Throwing bows, been in the corner, set my mind up on the goal. All I know is stay down, bad, I'm the goal. Okay, feel like the best, the great. Now ain't no debate. Yeah. Okay, feel like the best, the great. Now ain't no debate. Yeah. I ain't gotta say much. Know the boy got a touch. Another win for the rush. Another win for the rush. See me once and got a crush. See you twice and that's enough. Get the ring sized up.
Famous man once said that all good things must come to an end, but I will tell you this Chiefs season was not a good thing. We are here. Tell the Truth is back. Week 16 is in the books.
To the end of the road, still I can. Okay, we can go. I ain't drinking. Lighters up, baby.
Yes,
I belong to you.
Are we laying us to rest this week?
Man.
Oh, we are. We absolutely are.
We still got 5 years technically, but it's a sad day.
No. Look, we were talking about, and because of the discussion that we had earlier, I moved it up as far as the rundown is concerned. We will be talking about, obviously, the stadium aspect of it. However, in the meantime, since we guys have talked to you, the Chiefs season has ended. Not only has the Chiefs season ended, it's ended in a bitter way, with Patrick Mahomes, of course, tearing his ACL and damaging his LCL as well with an avulsion fracture, which we'll get into in a little bit as well. That Chargers game was obviously incredibly tough to watch. I'd say the defense hung in as best as they possibly could throughout that entirety of the game. And at the end of the day, the Chiefs offense could not muster enough possessions to get it done, which is the kind of the story of the season in many respects, which we'll dive into it a little bit. However, the major headlines that came out of this weekend or week, quote unquote, definitely was not the Titans beating the crap out of the Chiefs what's left of the Chiefs, I should say, even though they were trying to win the game in Tennessee. It was the fact that yesterday the Chiefs did formally announce that they will be moving to Kansas in 2031 with a brand new stadium, pretty much significantly funded by Kansas as far as that is concerned. They did win the war for the Chiefs, if you want to put it that way, I suppose. And that comes with its own realities of saying goodbye to Arrowhead, of course. The thing that I wanted to start off at least with was just say that this isn't a surprise to me. Personally, I expected this to happen years ago. It makes too much sense. The Chiefs and, by proxy, obviously Clark Hunt and his family that he obviously is the head of, they are in as lucrative a time as they probably will ever be, because of successes that Andy Reid has brought, and then Patrick Mahomes has elevated them to a crown jewel franchise, one that obviously has been the dominant dynasty over the last half decade plus within the National Football League. In addition to all the things that come with that. And as a result, it is time to capitalize, given the fact that the Chiefs lease is coming up on Arrowhead. And yeah, they want a dome. They want a dome for Final Four, which I actually think you have a chance to have, I guess, more frequently, I would say.
Way more.
Yeah, way more frequently, especially since college basketball is a little bit of a hub within the Kansas City area. And then a Super Bowl. And I do specify a Super Bowl. I do not think that this is going to be a part of the normal rotation. They have not necessarily shown that they want to make cold weather cities a part of a normal rotation. And I think Minnesota is an exception to that rule, given that it is a dome and it is very specifically situated in the middle of downtown in Minnesota, which is a little bit of an advantage that this particular stadium will not have. All that being said, expected to happen. And that is coming with, like I said, saying goodbye to what is an iconic stadium, no matter what any idiot will tell you otherwise. Iconic for its crowd noise, iconic for how beautiful the stadium is, iconic for the Arrowhead sign that is prominently displayed and always shown in every Arrowhead overhead shot, iconic for the red seats, iconic for the circular walkways at each corner of the stadium, iconic for the parking lot tailgates, iconic for the Chiefs Kingdom fans that continue to show up in good times and bad. and iconic for all the memories that we have there due to the successes as well. So I could go on and on as far as that is concerned. How do you guys feel? And then I'll ask you guys a follow-up question as far as this move is concerned for the Chiefs moving out of Arrowhead.
Go ahead, DG.
Oh, you gonna put it on me first? I was gonna let you go first.
I mean,
I insist.
It's a sad day, obviously. Me and DG obviously born and raised here. Man, I don't know where to start. Literally everybody in my family is Chiefs fans. My grandmother, God rest her soul, biggest goal she ever wanted for me was to always go to college and graduate, and I did that. And obviously, she didn't get to see it because she passed, but I don't think there was ever a bigger Chiefs fan in my family than her. She probably cheered louder than any of my uncles and my pops. So for her to miss all the chances of us winning all these Super Bowls to be in this moment, so it's definitely a bittersweet moment to see the stadium go. But we've had a lot of ups and downs with that stadium. Basically raised there. I spent plenty of days by myself as a kid or as an adult with family, with friends, somebody else's family. It's like every time you in Arrowhead, you feel like you're around family. You don't ever feel like you're around strangers. I could be sitting in a random section by myself, not knowing anyone there. You start a whole conversation with anybody. That's just how Chiefs Kingdom makes you feel. Anywhere you around the city, you in the airport, you traveling for school, you wear that KC on your chest or on your hat or a bag. It feels some type of pride for you. So this is definitely an emotional day. Obviously, I've told DG in numerous chats, I'm very sad. But if we got imagine I know DMac could probably speak to this more. Like, how did people feel like when they woke up and you knew the Rams were leaving? And not only leaving, they were like going all the way to the coast. Like, that's like a terrible gut punch feeling. Mm-hmm. So like, this feels bad, but I'm not like, if that happened, I probably would have cried. If I know my team wasn't even going to be in the city like at all. Like, I couldn't physically go watch them. Like, they're moving 30 minutes, and yes, it sucks, but like me and DG said, when you drive past Kaufman on 70, there's a sense of pride you see when you see that KC on that Kaufman and you see that crown right there. It's like, you back at home. It's like a landmark, and everybody knows how that feeling is when you drive past it. So to know that that feeling probably won't be there in the next 6 years, it's definitely sentimental for everyone. Yeah, man, we've had a lot of big moments in Truman, man. I've seen some incredible wins, some devastating losses. We've seen the Javon Belcher situation, Lamar Hunt passing, winning the first AFC Championship game, going to the Super Bowl for the first time, going back-to-back. There's been a lot of crazy moments, man. The no-punt game, the all-field goal game from Pittsburgh, and the 24-point comeback versus Houston. We've seen any kind of game you thought you'd have seen at Arrowhead, we've probably seen it and more. So it's definitely a sad day. Try not to be too emotional because I know we have a lot more football to do in the next 5 years, but it's definitely an emotional day for people who are born and raised in Kansas City, because when you just drive past Arrowhead and you see that red light or you see that blue light light up, you know what Truman Sports Complex means to us, bro. So it's definitely a crazy day. I'm definitely going to be – it's not hitting me as much now probably when we get closer to like 2030, 2031, when we officially know that's the last game. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do when the last game, bro. I'm probably going to cry. I don't think I can go. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go in there. So it's an emotional day, but got a lot more football left to play. So let's make these last 5 years special. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, obviously, when you have success, change comes with it. And I think that this move was obviously inevitable at this point. You kind of saw the writing on the wall, especially when people go to the polls and vote no
or don't vote at all.
Or don't vote at all. Yeah. Listen, man, I'm a kid from South KC, born and raised, Ruskin Heights area. Mostly all my life, bro. My parents have lived in the same house for how long I've been alive, 34 years. So there's a sense of pride in me that loves this city to my core. This is the only city I know for real. I did live I live in St. Louis for college and stuff like that, but nothing will ever top, Kansas City, any city, period, in my opinion. I don't care where I go, just because this city is mine, and I know every street, every corner, every store, everything. The city state, yeah, every sidewalk. Yeah, because we don't have any.
Apparently.
to see every man to see the stadium go is very it's sad, man. It's definitely sad. Just the simple fact that, like what CJ pointed to, all the memories that I've made there. The good times, the bad times that I've been there. I've been there for a lot of great games, and I've been there for a lot of bad games. From going from being, like I said in my post earlier today, from being a 10-year-old attending his first Chiefs game to watch LaDainian Tomlinson run all on us or whatever in the freezing cold, to being out there in the freezing cold again to watch D4 line up off sides.
Boy.
I've seen it all in that stadium. I've cried. I've leapt for joy in that stadium. I've cried tears of sadness in that stadium. So it's definitely bitter, very bittersweet, just because of how iconic of a place Arrowhead, not only Arrowhead, but Kauffman Stadium as well too. And it's like I keep telling people, I understand this is a big day for Kansas, and I'm not trying to take anything away from the Kansas residents. I feel like they should be very, very happy, prideful of what's about to happen on their side of the state line. But for the people who live on this side of the state line, it's sad, man, because you know what's kind of writing on the wall for you at this point. You're kind of worried about the economic growth of this city, the progression of this city. We've seen other cities. I was thinking today, about a city like Oakland, who is losing pretty much all of their professional sports teams
Twice.
And it really, really sucks to see that happen. You don't want that to happen to your city. I take a lot of pride in being a Chiefs and a Royals fan as well. Through all the bad years that the Royals have been tragically terrible, and still going to a lot of those games. So, I understand being happy, but the trolling from some of the Kansas residents is kind of
calming down.
It's borderline disgusting at points in time. And I know we like, for people who don't live here, it's a difference because they don't understand the rivalry between Missouri and Kansas. Although, yes, we are the metro area, KC area, and it's only 23 minutes away or whatever. It's like having that cousin that you get forced to going to spend, time over at his house or whatever, and you really don't want to be there at all. So that's how this feels for me right now. It sucks, but at the end of the day, I just told myself today it's just time to make new memories and enjoy new things and new aspects of what this new stadium is going to bring. I really understand the big business side of it or whatever. It makes all the sense in the world to the Clark, to the Hunt family at this point to be able to host Super Bowls and Final Fours and things of that nature. So I can't blame them for that. Billionaires are gonna make billionaire moves. That's just something that people just have to get used to or whatever. They don't become billionaires because they want to spend their money. They become billionaires because they want to spend your money.
But say that again.
I perfectly understand it. That's just the business world. So shout out to, I really would say shout out to Mark Donovan, man, because
boy, he getting a raise.
He definitely put this franchise in another realm for real. Doing that. So it's bittersweet, man. But I will definitely enjoy these last 5 years of Arrowhead. Hopefully my son is coming soon, so hopefully I get a chance to take my son out there for the last couple games that we'll have there and make some more.
Gotta get little man a bowl. We're gonna do it.
I definitely gotta go to one more game with my dad before they destroy it. But yeah, man, it's a sad day for KC, Missouri residents everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I have a little bit of a different perspective, it's probably a little bit of a unique one. For those that don't know, I got handed the Chiefs and the Cardinals, the St. Louis Cardinals, by my grandfather. My dad went a different way. He decided to go with the Rams. And so I've got a kind of a lot of different things to look at it from. Like the first part, as CJ mentioned, like I was aware and saw how much the Rams leaving St. Louis affected my dad in that moment specifically, and how much that hurt him and hurt a lot of people that I knew in and around St. Louis, especially because of how much the team meant to downtown. And how key they were for the economics as far as that was concerned, but the pride of the city as well. And that did hurt a lot. So fortunately, from that perspective, this is just simply moving across a state line. I think there is a tendency to just kind of poo-poo the border aspect of this, but there are real feelings hurt on the Missouri side for good, bad, and indifferent for the reason they are. And in my opinion, I think they deserve to feel that way. Kansans, I can see why they would have a sense of pride about that. I think that they're being, a little bit extra if you're just dunking on people because of it. A, you didn't do anything. B, you got it by default. And C, you kind of got screwed in the deal if you're a Kansas resident. But point of pride for you guys, and you should be excited for that. I think the other thing, as far as that is concerned, I just think of all the memories. I mean, technically, my first time in here, I don't remember. It was with my grandfather and my father back, in the Marty days, and it was a game that I have no recollection of. But my dad always speaks to it, even as a Rams fan, just being able to be there with 3 generations of us, and it speaks on it fondly. And the memories I've been able to make myself there, and with my dad, and obviously with CJ and DG specifically, and the joints that we've had at Arrowhead is awesome. And so those memories are very near and dear to a lot of people's hearts for good reason, and near and dear to us Chiefs fans for good reason, because Arrowhead is a special place. It is a special place, for people outside of Kansas City. It's a special place for football viewing people. I obviously tweeted out earlier on my Twitter about Steve Sable, who is the preeminent filmmaker in football history, saying that his number one place to film would be Arrowhead Stadium, because he thinks that it is that special a venue. We all have friends, and CJ and DG probably have their own, but we talk to other football fans who say that they want to go see a game at Arrowhead just because it is a unique venue within the National Football League as well. So it is a special place, no matter what anybody may say or tell you otherwise. And it's viewed as such, not just by those that are Kansas City people, and certainly not just by folks that are just Missourians for that matter. So it comes with a lot of emotions as well. But I think that it is important to just say, hey, these things happen. It is a business at the end of the day. The Hunt family got an awesome business deal that will allow them to develop a lot of things around them. And I think that obviously I speak for everybody when I just say, hey, I hope that they find a way to make it unique. It will be a dome, and the people retractable. It's not going to be retractable. I promise you. It will be a dome. And I just hope that they find a way to make it unique. I think that there are elements of Atlanta Stadium, even though it is technically retractable, that is unique. SoFi is obviously very unique, even though technically it's kind of outdoors. It's
like see-through.
Right. It's technically roofed. But Minnesota's is an awesome stadium, and I think it's unique. There are unique aspects even of the Raiders Roomba, in my opinion, that are worth talking about too. But the big thing is just make it unique, and then the other part is preserve the tailgating abilities. And this is a place, because of how great a deal, and I stress it is an amazing deal the Hunt family has gotten as far as the economics of this deal. I hope that they are willing to, not try and bleed everybody dry in making it difficult to tailgate at Arrowhead. From this perspective, it would be easy to kind of build the stadium in a place that would encourage you to go to restaurants, to shopping centers, etc., around the stadium to do things before the game, rather than tailgate outside of the stadium as we have traditionally done in the Arrowhead parking lot. And that would make for, a lot of extra money for Hunts to make, because they would develop the things around the stadium. And I think that they need to hopefully preserve the tailgating aspect of it. There will be plenty of money made there on non-game days, I promise. And there'll be plenty of money made there on game days, even if you can tailgate around. I just hope that they do make it a priority as far as that's concerned. So I was gonna ask you guys just share one memory. It doesn't have to be anything, incredibly thing, but just if there or when you ever heard the news and when it was reported, what was just the first thing that came to mind as far as something that you'll remember at Arrowhead, CJ, and then see when did you expect.
Best memory. Oh, that's tough. Probably as a kid, I got a lot of them. I think my first game I went to was the year we traded for Priest Holmes from Baltimore. I think that's the first game I went to with my pops and my uncle. I think my favorite year was, I think the most memorable year for me as a kid was definitely watching Priest score with the 23 touchdowns he did that year. Crazy. I remember that year specifically. I had his that was the year because I remember my dad got me the little string backpacks that we wore as kids. He got me the one with the Priest Holmes jersey with 31. I rocked that to school because that was my favorite player growing up. I had his jersey and everything. I met him at a camp as a kid. My dad took me to go see him. So that's probably my first memory of going to Arrowhead. Was definitely going to see Priest Holmes play. Probably as an adult, my favorite memory definitely was seeing the 24-point comeback. It was crazy. I've never seen like obviously our fan base, we've been through a lot. Like I said, we've been through the no punt game versus the Colts, the all field goal game versus the Steelers, the face mask doink game versus Tennessee. Any way you could have thought an embarrassing loss in the playoffs, we've seen it. So to see like the utter disgust in everyone's face when Houston was up 24-0 and people were literally leaving the stadium, I had no reason I couldn't be mad at them. I was like, bro, they have no reason not to. Like, why would they stay? They've seen every way we've lost. So to actually stay at the game, I mean, I couldn't leave because I wasn't driving, so my ride was there with me. So, but to see that comeback in person was probably one of the greatest moments ever going to a Chiefs game in Arrowhead. It's like literally every emotion you felt, sadness, anger, frustration, then you felt joy, elation, excitement, everything all in one game. Like the ultimate roller coaster was all there. And everybody has their memories from that game because everybody watched it or was there. So those are probably my biggest moments. Yeah, definitely Priest Holmes, record-breaking season as a kid. And then as an adult, watching the 24-point comeback. Those are probably my two probably most exciting moments as an adult for sure. And then we went on to win the bowl that year too. So the 50-year drought ending that was crazy. So those are probably like my two biggest, fondest memories of being at Arrowhead for sure.
What was the question? I wasn't. I'm sorry.
Just if there was a memory that came to mind.
I actually have a lot of bad memories.
Oh, I got a lot of those too. I was trying to be nice. I got some bad ones. I didn't want to make everybody sad.
The good ones I have. I'm trying to think.
We got plenty of bad ones. We could be here all day.
Yeah, I got plenty of bad ones. The good ones. Let's see. I remember as an adult. I remember the game against the Browns. The Chiefs started 1-5 and ripped off like 11 straight wins or something like that year, 2015.
Yep, I remember that season.
Faced Johnny Manziel that week or whatever coming in. I just remember how cold it was, but I remember how hyped I was for that game. We won that game. Obviously clinched the playoff spot. I've never felt more proud to be a Chiefs fan than that spot because I ain't gonna lie. I thought the beginning of that year, I thought we was cooked. I was preparing, getting ready for the draft, like what draft spot we gonna get, or whatever. I'll say another good memory I have. Let me think. For some reason, every time I go, I'm undefeated against the Chargers. Like every time, every time we played them, especially in the Phillip Rivers era, I had a pretty good record against Phillip Rivers. So I always enjoyed those games. I always enjoyed seeing him crash out on the sidelines and things of that nature. Yeah. My bad memories.
So long, he might outlast Arrowhead at this point.
Yeah, right. For real.
Coming back.
Bad memories. D Ford offside. I was there for that game. I was there for the KT offsides game.
Bruh.
And then I know I got another one that I was there for. Oh, the Jamal Charles fumble at the end of
That was so
the
bad.
Broncos Chiefs game Thursday night. I was there for that game as
They
well.
killed
So I
Jamal
got
for that one, boy.
some real bad memories.
We can go all day with the bad ones.
Yeah. But man, I like I said, going there, especially as a kid, my dad taking me to my first game or whatever. I never forget that day either. How cold it was or whatever. But we rode the bus to the game or whatever. The Metro bus used to take you all the way down, right up to the entrance gate.
They don't do
or
that.
whatever. You get right off on the bus. And then I remember walking up the big
loop,
the turnstiles or whatever.
Yep.
We were all the way up in like the 300. So we got free tickets. It was like 2001. The Chiefs were, of course, sorry as hell or whatever. But we were all the way up in the 300 seats. And I remember these guys next to us, they were like season ticket holders. And they had they had the cardboard boxes with them. And they were telling us, like, if you put the cardboard underneath your feet, to keep your feet warm. I thought that was like, as a 10-year-old kid trying to explain that to me, I thought that was the weirdest thing ever. But I remember just being out there freezing and screaming my head off, and my dad buying me hot chocolate and things of that nature. So I'll never forget that memory. That memory is ingrained in my brain forever, man. I always appreciate my dad for doing that, because he really didn't have to take me out there in the middle of December for a game that for a Chiefs team that was like 6-10 at that point. So,
he said we was trash.
Yeah, we was definitely trash.
Yeah. Hey, like I said, my first Chiefs game, I don't actually remember. I do remember coming back to see Jamal Charles absolutely destroy the Broncos in Arrowhead, which was an incredible time, man. And it's so many memories that come to mind. I think that I do have a video that I do want to show, and it perfectly encapsulates Arrowhead. And it is obviously a part of the new era in many ways that has not which is called, I guess, define the essence of it, but put it on the world stage. So I'm gonna let it play, and then I'll explain why it's perfect afterwards.
We did it again! We did it again! We did it again! We did it again! Woo! Come on!
Mind you, I had never met that man a day in my life.
You don't have to.
Everybody's family. Everybody's family
in Arrowhead.
When you get in there, we all the same.
Your family, you wear red.
Right.
He said, whoa!
When we score, you turn it like,
everybody high five. Everybody.
What's up? Yeah.
So that is Arrowhead. That is Arrowhead in a nutshell. You are family the second that you walk in there wearing red. And in my opinion, that is Chiefs Kingdom. And I hope that is in essence that does carry over to the new stadium, because that is a great thing to preserve as far as our fandom is concerned. So with that being said, that is kind of our response, I would say, to the Chiefs moving to Kansas. We'll obviously talk more about it as we go on. I guess they're in the offseason, and any details that end up coming up as we go throughout. Obviously, the Chiefs will be moving their headquarters to Olathe. They will be having a brand new practice facility.
Now that part, DG, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't too sad about not driving to St. Joe no more. Not hating.
Andy,
I appreciate y'all. We still love y'all.
Andy Reid is still going to have training camp in St. Joe. No matter.
Andy Reid is. Once he gone,
after that,
like, we going on Olathe.
Hey, if you want to have season ticket member days at Olathe, I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah,
let me drive close so I ain't, save me a little sleep.
Jones.
You know what I mean? Like a couple days out in Olathe ain't gonna hurt nobody. No.
For sure.
Well, if things continue the way they have in the 2026 season, we'll say after Andy Reid may be coming a little bit quicker than people might have imagined. We do have to lay the Chiefs season to rest because they were formally eliminated from postseason contention with their loss of charges and subsequent things that happened. Boy howdy, an ugly game, and obviously They followed it up with an even uglier game in which they tried to win, did not play any of the young players that they should have, and then lost to the Titans by a lot. I guess there could be many questions about what they should have done, shouldn't done. Just it's disgusting. It's disgusting how this has gone. The offensive scheme issues. Obviously, the offensive line injuries at the end had a major role in it as well, particularly in that Texans and Chargers game. And a little bit, I guess, at the end of the Cowboys game, but that wasn't necessarily their fault. The defensive decline, especially along the defensive line, because you can't rush the quarterback in any way, shape, or form. A disappointing season all the way around in 2026 for the Chiefs, and it came to a bitter end with Patrick Mahomes tearing his ACL. And also having a avulsion fracture that led to the LCL needing to be repaired as well. As a result, he does have a 9 to 11 month rehab ahead of him. It is one that he should come back from. It is one we will see if there are any long-term effects from. I do mention the avulsion fracture aspect of it because, simply put, it does give you a little bit of a better chance of recovery with that LCL. Because you're not necessarily reconstructing the ligament itself. You're just connecting again the bone back to the bone that the ligament is attached to, and you have a much better chance of healing as far as bone to bone than, of course, reattaching a ligament to the bone. ACL has been reconstructed as well, so we'll see how that continues. And Patrick Mahomes, obviously, like we talked about, has a grueling rehab ahead of him that we know that he will attack as he attacks everything with a lot of vigor, a lot of competitive fire, and we'll know he will be back. Before we get into the offseason and kind of the larger aspect of it, I guess we do have to. Well, I would give you guys a second because I don't want to just bypass it. When Patrick Mahomes was down on the ground, like, what were your emotions? Because it's clear that the season is essentially over at this point. I hope we knew that the season was over at this point, but like for it to end that way, how did you guys feel about it?
At first it was shock. Then once he clutched his knee, I was like, yeah, it's over, dog. Like, you know, you kind of just had that sinking feeling of knowing that, like, this may linger over into next year. You know, and this is just the reality that you're facing. But also, I know one thing I do know for sure is that in every great athlete that you see, when you see greatness and things and obviously we've seen greatness from Patrick Mahomes. There is that part of that story where you have to face some adversity and you have to face some kind of challenge to where people are going to doubt you and think that you won't be the same type of player or things of that nature. We've seen Jordan do it. We've seen Kobe do it. We've seen the Tiger Woods of the world, LeBron James, all the great athletes, the Tom Brady's, of the world, the Peyton Mannings of the world. We've seen them all go through that point in their careers of where they face this type of adversity or type of injury or anything like that, and have to show the world that they can bounce back from this. So in a sense, I had that sinking feeling of like, damn, like we could spend another, year without seeing 15 out there on the field potentially. But also I'm highly motivated to see him progress and work his way back to being the player that we all know that he can be. And that gives me a great sense of pride and joy to know that he's going to obviously we all know Mahomes is a psycho. So he's going to attack this thing in the best way that possible that he can. And I think he's going to come back better from it anyway. So it's a depressing feeling, especially to see a guy who you think is clearly invincible, be human. We got to see Patrick Mahomes actually be human for once. So Superman bleeds.
CJ, how do you feel?
It was was like the state, like 5 stages of grief. Like DG said, you're like in shock, then you're angry, then you like acceptance and all that. So it was like when I first saw it, I thought he just like rolled his ankle, like he just like came down in the wheel. I thought he was about to pop up. He was just being cautious. Then I started seeing him roll over. He was like yelling and grabbing his knee. I was like, oh yeah, he probably tweaked it. So then I saw the replay and his hyperextension knee went all the way back. I was like, yeah, he's probably cooked. So sad to see him go down. You never want to see your star quarterback get hurt, especially in a season that was like essentially over at that point. There's literally nothing left to play for because the season was over. The game was over. So you don't want to see your star player have to deal with a rehab. That's the last thing we want to deal with amongst many other issues. We want to deal with fixing the roster and retooling so we can get back to competing. But it's just, if any year it would happen, at least you're understandable to the point it happened in a year where you know you're not competing for a championship. I would be pissed right now if that happened and we were like competing for the 1 seed or we were like the 2 seed in the AFC. That would hurt a lot more if we were actually in contention playing well and then it happened. So, I mean, you never want to see your star player get hurt. Like DG said, he's been the heartbeat of this team. This franchise has forever changed because of Patrick Mahomes and easily one of my favorite athletes all time, being a kid growing and raised in Kansas City and seeing him and what he's done for not only the city as a player, but as a person. He's changed the mindset, how prideful people are to know, like I say, when you out of town and you wear that KC on your chest, you know what that represents and what that means. And Patrick Mahomes embodies that more than anybody. So to see him go down was definitely tough to see. Nobody's going to attack the rehab harder and get back as soon as possible, more than 15. I know he'll do his best to try to be ready by week 1, but best case scenario, you want him to be 150%. You don't want to be 100%. You want to make sure he's the best version of himself so we can use him for the long haul. So if that is waiting the first 4 weeks of next season or 5 weeks, whatever it is, I just want 15 to be at his best and be ready to go back and compete. So for rehab wise, I know it's I would rather it be this than an Achilles. Achilles are the worst injuries. I think those are harder to come back from personally than ACLs. So obviously he's going to have a long road ahead of him for rehab wise, but he obviously got the surgery done early. The swelling wasn't there as much the day after, so that's a good thing. So obviously we're going to wait and see what his progress is around draft time and, mini camp to see where he is. But I'm sure he'll be trying to go out and run out with the team and be just like his normal self when we get to training camp. Obviously you want to hold him back and make sure he's given the optimal time to go out there and recover and be the best version of himself out there. So it's definitely sad to see. You hate to see it, but at least we know he's attacking rehab with everything he's got and putting himself in a position where he can be ready to play next year whenever that time is. So definitely sad to see, but glad to see he's progressing in the right way so far.
Yeah. Like I said, it was sad to see. It was a tough pill to swallow for it to end this way. Even for as bad as the season was, just to have that be the punctuation mark just sucked. I also thought it was a shame because this has been the most during a regular season by far in which Patrick Mahomes has had to run. He obviously normally picks and chooses his spots, but we put so much on his shoulders and obviously his legs to get the job done that it feels like it wore him down. And obviously he came into the week with a groin, ankle, and a knee issue to the point where he was continuously wrapping up his knee to try and keep it warm and moving. And it's a shame that we had to put him in that position offensively that it feels like ended up compromising him. And I would say, and I'm not directly blaming the coaching staff from that perspective, nor am I going to directly blame the coaching staff for what I'm about to say, but it feels like the second time this season in which they have gotten a big piece of the team hurt because of their incompetence. And that is in reference to Omar Norman-Lott and the weight gain that he put in. And then obviously him playing hurt during some of the preseason. And then on top of it, him doing some things that he necessarily didn't get asked to in college too. So it's tough. And it was a difficult thing to experience in my personal opinion. But like I said, I expect him to be back. I think that this team has a lot of things to look in the mirror on. And that comes to the next portion, which is just the coaching criticism aspect of it, because they have failed in a lot of different aspects. And this is not just a coaching thing. It also includes somewhat of the roster, but you see the product that they put out there on Sunday versus a 2-win Titans team that looked dead, and you're just disgusted by it, man. The offense looked like it was completely anemic and lost. And this is obviously you're dealing with backup quarterbacks, but they lost things. And obviously Gardner Minshew got hurt, fortunately not a torn ACL, but did get hurt. Obviously Chris Olodokun had to come in. you're dealing with these guys that, in Chris's case, has never taken an NFL snap before. So it's not going to look pretty, but still, I mean, it looked like it was awful by the wayside. And so it's tough to see where they're at as a team, and they have a lot of things to fix. I guess the questions that I got to ask you guys real quick is, do you have anything specifically that you'd like to say about the coaching staff, looking back on the entirety of the season, but also specifically coming off of that effort on Sunday?
Yeah, I don't appreciate the lack of accountability that most of this coaching staff is kind of taking this year. Spags included. I've really been disappointed with how Spags has kind of approached this season. In the way that especially in the press conferences and how they talked, and how he's kind of talked about certain players or whatever. I know Spags is not the type of guy to throw players under the bus per se and try to evade that, but ultimately that's what you end up doing. Especially when you come out and say that a player like Jaden Hicks has made mistakes and things of that nature, but then you turn around and every Sunday you put Shamari Connor in a position where he's essentially out there making mistakes every week, and you are knowing this and just
every week.
Yeah, and willingly just letting him do it. And I think it's a disservice to Shamari Connor as well, too, because you're asking him to do something that you obviously know as a coach he's not capable of doing.
Facts.
That's the point of you being a coach. A coach sees what players can't see, and is supposed to put them in positions to succeed. And I felt like Spags miserably failed some of these players on this defense this year doing that. As far as the offensive side, to me, the lack of accountability on execution this year, both from Andy Reid and Matt Nagy, to Connor Embry, to all of them on the offensive side, not holding people accountable to go out there and execute how we know that they've been able to, is a huge disservice. The play calling is dry. It's stale, and it's obviously not surprising anybody in this league, especially when it's your division opponents and they know what you're going to run, especially when Tony Jefferson, who's been in this league for however long, is sitting on every route and knowing exactly what's coming, So there has to be a point of change, and if there's not a point of change, then somebody will be fired, at some point in time. Whether that's next year, this year, or whatever in this offseason. So, they definitely got to look themselves in the mirror and figure things out at this point. Because if they don't, then obviously somebody will definitely be out of here.
Facts. No, yeah, the biggest defensively, obviously there was a lot of personnel decisions I thought should have been better in the offseason. So that goes to partially Veach and then partially Spags, because after they have a conversation together about scouting department, what guys they like, what the team needs. So I think that there's definitely a lack of accountability. I hate the conversation that Spags would even have that to have the gall to say Jaden has struggled as far as development and practice and or in games. I think he needs to improve, but then you let Shamari Connor willingly go out there every week was crazy. That's probably the worst coaching decision of roster management that we've done this year. And we definitely, that needs to be corrected. You got to hold people accountable for the mistakes they make. Offensively, this is probably one of the worst coaching years by Andy. There were so many game plans, and I called it just lazy coaching. I know DG didn't want to get too much into it, but there were so many game plans, so many weeks where you're looking at teams, like DG said, they knew what we were running. There was no creativity. There's no juice. It's like they just went into the game plan with the same concept every week. And I never want to be the one to call people out and act like we know more than them, but to try to act like fans are naive, I'm like, some of us actually do know football at a high level. And to watch you put out the same product every week, I'm like, if we can figure it out, what do you think professional defensive coordinators and defensive coaches are going to do? They're going to definitely figure out what you like to do, what you don't like to do. And like, again, you've had a lot of success over the last, Andy's been here 12 years, but since Pat, it's been 7 years. So you've had a lot of success in that term, but there has to come a time for growth. That's why I'm like, I'm frustrated with the way the season ended, but I knew this point in time was going to come. It's going to happen because there has to come a point in time when things go really bad, and unfortunately, past injury came with it. Where, like DMac said, you have to look in the mirror. Are you going to be honest with yourself and say, "Hey, what do I need to do to improve? I know I was wrong. I know I made a mistake. Admitting it is the first step, and then putting a plan out there to correct yourself, and then go executing that plan is the next steps." So nobody cares that you made a mistake. Nobody cares that you had a bad year. What are you going to do to fix it going forward? So obviously, there's a lot of changes we need to see on offense. We need to get some more creativity, not so much bland or staleness in the offense, like living in a gun when you know you don't have an athletic running back. Not using guys like our zone beaters versus man beaters coverages was bad this year. Not committing ourselves to the run when we know we don't have enough juice up front to protect our quarterback as well as we should when the injuries happen. Just a lot of bad decisions from the coaching standpoint. It's almost like they were dying on the shield and willing to die on the hill that they shouldn't have. They didn't have to because we had the ability to get ourselves out of the hole. You just chose not to. And being prideful is probably the worst thing a coach can do, really any adult can do, because usually the pride will get you killed in any situation when you're trying to succeed. So the biggest threat to success is complacency. I've been taught that my entire life. My parents said it. My pastor says it. If you ever want to be great, anything you do, you can't be willing to be complacent and stay the same. You got to be willing to evolve, be willing to change. If you're not, you're going to sit there and be stuck in the same place. So definitely want to see a lot of changes in this offseason. I do respect Andy's football acumen. I respect his mind, and he's done a lot of great things in this league. And I do expect him to go to the drawing board and be honest and go out there and fix and correct it. And if we not, then we're going to have a very, very different conversation this time next year if we're talking about the same things. So I expect things to change. I expect things to look different. Obviously, some guys in the coach staff need to go. Never want to be the guy to call a grown man out for his job, because I know these guys, the hours they put in and the work they put in the building. So I never want to be that guy. But if you don't perform, people have to get fired. Like DG said, that's just the name of the business. If you don't perform, we need results. It's a results-based business. So there's a lot of things that need to get better with the coaching staff, but the first one is definitely positional coaching. We need to get guys better at the receiver running back room. We need real development, and I think we haven't had that in the last couple of years. There definitely needs to be a fresh voice in the building, a guy that sees something from a different perspective, and simple things that need to be just tweaked to the offense. I'm not asking for foundational things to just be completely torn and ripped apart, just little adjustments that we need to make and things that we've done before. So that's the confidence building part. All the things I'm asking for the offense to look differently. We've done these things before. We just need to do them more on a consistent basis and commit to it. So I think defensively is more of like a personnel. We need real investment on the defense. Because I think offensively, we have the pieces. We need to do what we want to do on offense. Defense, we need a lot more help, in my opinion. So that's why I would dump a lot of my resources into. But no, coaching so far definitely needs to be a more movement and more guys moved around and newer faces and no voices as far as offense. Defense, I like the guys we have. We just need to just get more personnel-wise. So I think more of the coaching changes need to come on the offense for sure, in my opinion, for this offseason.
Yeah, and I agree with your point about complacency, and that was something Nate Taylor said that it appeared it set in on the sideline versus the Titans too, and it feels like it's set in across the entirety of this coaching staff. To be perfectly honest with you, too much complacency. I think they settled into.
Leave me alone, Noni.
Casey,
Leave us alone.
They've settled into just being comfortable with what they're doing, and they thought because of the success that they had in the past that they were automatically going to have that success in the future. I think they put too much on Travis Kelce. I thought they put too much on Chris Jones, and they put too much ultimately on Patrick Mahomes. And all of that considered, they still were not able to have a successful season on top of that. So this is the wake-up call. That's where I'm at with this coaching staff. In the past, I have made excuses for them. I have said that things will need to change, but I trust that they will change in time. But now this is the wake-up call, because you were able to turn things around in 2023. You were obviously able to win the Super Bowl that year. Yeah, you got by in 24 and still made the Super Bowl, things considered, but you should have had the wake-up call in the Super Bowl and getting your butt kicked. You should have known that was the sign that you need to change things, but it's not.
Do they know they need to wake up?
Well,
I don't know what more you need to see.
They're going to have to. If this isn't, and to CJ's point, if this isn't the wake-up call and the results don't come in the future, then you got to go. That goes for Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo. I don't want either one of those two guys fired. That's just how I personally feel right now. I agree wholeheartedly with CJ. They need brand new offensive coaching staff, top to bottom, in my opinion. The offensive coordinator got to go. Just me. Sorry, Matt Nagy. And it's not necessarily a Matt Nagy specific thing. It's that he comes from Andy Reid's tree. They need somebody from outside of Andy Reid's tree to help refresh and revamp this offensive system, as CJ was speaking to, getting under center, being able to marry the run and the pass to create explosives on a consistent basis. That is what needs to happen. They need new positional coaches because, as we're going to discuss in a little bit, as far as doing mock drafts in the offseason preview, you can bring in the talent. And I think that the talent evaluators, the scouts, and Brett Veach need to be reemphasized as far as who has the final say in personnel decisions, because then you can hold them accountable accordingly. They also need to be developed when they're brought here. You need better positional coaches at running back and wide receiver. Those are not position coaches that you can train up, et cetera, et cetera. If you want to train somebody up, have them be an assistant to the position coach. You need a real position coach that can teach these guys on a consistent basis, because guess what? You've got talented guys, in my personal opinion, in Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy, that aren't getting better. And I know Xavier Worthy is hurt. I understand that completely. Obviously, Rashee Rice missed the game with a concussion, et cetera. But they just aren't getting better in the ways that they need to. So I agree, generally speaking, and we can talk about this in a little bit with the offseason preview. But the coaching staff has let me down, and there need to be significant changes. Dave Toub needs to go. The offensive coaching staff needs to be completely overhauled as far as that is concerned. That is necessary so that they can have the right offensive system moving forward, in my personal opinion. So offseason preview, I want to just ask you guys two quick questions, and then we're going to go do a mock draft to kind of end this off. First one, what is the biggest room in your opinion that needs to be overhauled? Or I would say that maybe enough people aren't talking about getting overhauled outside of the defensive line room.
The running
defense.
Running back.
Oh yeah. Oh, just in general, easily running back, easily. Mm-hmm. Those are our top two priorities going into this offseason.
Running back.
Edge.
Obviously the edge room.
Well, yeah, I would say defensive line is. Yeah, I would include
the D-line in general. Yeah, for sure.
In my opinion, it's the secondary.
After that,
the safety room wouldn't be that. That wouldn't be a.
Yeah, Caleb. I would say the secondary in general, because obviously we have the question mark of Troy McDuffie's future. Obviously, Jalen Watson is a pending free agent. Brian Cook is a pending free agent. I don't trust Shamar Connor. They're not getting any type of run out of Jaden Hicks, which again, it's malpractice by the coaching staff. They said that they want to get Jeffrey Bassett more work. Chanel is a pending free agent. I think Drew Tranquil should be cut. So they got a lot of guys, Jeffrey Bassett, Jalen Royals, Jaden Hicks, that need to be playing a lot of snaps, in addition to some of the younger guys that I've also pointed out. We'll see if it happens. Damian Pierce should also be running the ball. They left him inactive. Incredibly frustrating. I could go on and on, but I don't want to get bogged down there. But yeah, I would say that the secondary is the one behind the defensive line. And yes, I agree with the running back room, but I'm always going to put the running back room behind a secondary piece. That's just me. But that's how I look at things. The second question is back on the offensive side. Between running back, wide receiver, tight end, what do you think is the biggest need? And we are assuming that Travis Kelce is not going to be back.
I'm still running back.
Running back, bro.
I'm still running back.
Yeah.
I think you can. I mean, obviously, losing arguably the greatest tight end of all time is going to suck. But I think you could obviously manage through that if you have a dynamic running back in this offense.
Facts.
Or a semblance to run the ball
in general.
In general. So, yeah, if Trav retires, he's obviously going to be missed or whatever. But I don't see. I just see it as a point where I think you can make it through if you were to draft a tight end and play Noah Gray and more significant snaps and things of that nature at this point. So
a dynamic running back would have immense impact on this offense. Like we always had the joke or the hypothetical, like Jamal Charles was like 5 years too soon, or Pat was like 5 years too late, because we never got to see those guys play together. A dynamic running back in any offense or any run game of semblance helps everybody. It helps your quarterback, helps the OC, helps the O-line. Everybody's job is easier when we don't have to think besides, hey, just hand the ball off and let them get 5 yards. On top of the fact that you have a dynamic back like a Jamal Charles, or guys in the draft that we like everybody's favorite is Jeremiah Love. We found diamond in the roughs like Emmett Johnson out of Nebraska. There's free agency guys that I've liked like Kenny Gainwell out of Pittsburgh. There's guys that you can bring into this offense that can give you more answers. Like I said, easy answers to the test for our offense. Easy gimme plays like a zone, let them get 4 or 5 yards, a screen pass. Like our screen game essentially was nullified this year. And whenever you ever heard that about an Andy Reid led offense. So having a running back, in my opinion, does wonders for any offense because it just calms everyone down because it gives you easy plays to go to. And on top of the fact, if you have a back that can catch the ball, it's just another having 5 men in and out in a route makes your offense more dynamic, especially when you got playing next to Patrick Mahomes. So as much as I would love to have another good tight end, I'm like DG, I can find one of those later in the draft. We need a dynamic running back in this offense more than ever. And we really needed it the last 3 years, but we've just been able to mask it because how good 15 is and how good 87 is, we've been able to overcome it. But there's no better time or no more important time ever in this Andy Reid era for them to attack the running back room. I know we've kind of nullified it and kind of put it to the wayside. We have to get a dynamic running back this offseason. Like, it's non-negotiable, especially with Trav leaving and past knee injury. So,
I mean, look, I think that they need a blocking tight end badly. If I will be perfectly honest with you guys, if I had to choose between getting a top flight weapon at running back, tight end, and wide receiver, I would take a top flight wide receiver. We can have a little bit more of that discussion, but I think that they could really use, and I understand, like they could be.
We can make it work. So
I know, and we wouldn't be mad at any one of those options. That would just be my preference because I do truly believe, and I think that's the most important of those three in positions, and I think that could be a major boon to add a true outside wide receiver that could bring all of the ball winning skills and the route running ability that comes with it, in my personal opinion. So that's how I look at it. We will. The crazy thing about it is we will have more time on this podcast to preview the offseason than we have ever had on this podcast because we have consistently been in the Super Bowl in the history of this podcast. So we are going to be able to start the process of offseason stuff way early. We're going to remember, obviously, because we continue to be in the Super Bowl. Literally every time that we've done this podcast, we have done like 1 week of prep for the combine. And then because it's literally right after the Super Bowl. So we're recapping and getting into the combine. This time we are obviously going to have a lot more space and time. And we're going to be talking about what that schedule is going to look like. But we are going to be getting into that. Obviously, a major piece of that's going to be free agency, how we're remaking the roster as far as, cuts, extensions, restructures, especially leading up to, obviously, those decision dates. And then a lot of the scouting stuff, which we will dive headfirst into on the college side as well. But we do have a mock draft to end today off. And want to do two just for different branching scenarios. Real quick, give me a week 16 winner and loser, just so we can cover our bases as far as the rest of the NFL is concerned.
It's been my winner all year, man. The Bears. They won the
Bears. That boy Caleb Williams, man. That boy Caleb Williams. Iceman.
Call game.
Iceman.
I mean, I know it was the backup quarterback. It was Malik Willis, but for a Bears fan who haven't won the division since 2018, ironically, with DG's favorite coach Matt Nagy being their head coach, for them to go in there and win the division, like everybody, there's always that worst to first team. There's always a worst to first team every year, and a lot of people said it was going to be the Bears, and they actually did it, man.
I was going to say that this was. I said it during the preseason. I said if there was going to be a worst to first team, sure, it was going to be the Bears. It made the most sense, and everybody was like, "Well, this division's too tough. The Lions have won the X number."
Somebody got to do it, bro.
If anybody is going to be able to do it, it's that team, and it looks like they are in position to do it. They would also be my winner. Shout out to them. And then I would say secondarily, Jaguars. I talked about it.
They've had a second half of the
last few weeks. They had been, in my opinion, the most balanced team in the AFC. Really good on defense, really good on offense, and they went into Denver's place and
pretty handily beat Denver. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, they did, and that was really surprising. I thought that it was going to be a really good matchup because the Denver offense had been picking up steam as well on their end. And obviously the Jaguars had done it versus some lower opponents, but to go out there and have that performance, Denver, looks good too. But they outside of this week, but Jaguars look like a dangerous team in the AFC that feels extremely wide open, obviously, all things considered. So shout out to them. You got a biggest loser?
Biggest loser.
The Ravens obviously had their season.
Lions.
The Lions, yeah.
They also essentially had their season ended.
I do have my winner. The Niners. Shout out to the Niners, man.
That offense,
they still got a chance.
That offense is
That's
rolling.
crazy.
And then the fact that, like, I really think Kyle Shanahan should win Coach of the Year this year. The job
all the
that
years
he's done. Look, I mean, I think he should be. I'll say he should be one of the top.
No, you could,
He should be one
you
of the
could
top
say
guys,
it.
for
You
sure.
could, you could legit. They have lost Fred Warner and Nick
They're
Bosa
two of
on
their
the
best
defensive
players,
side of the
man.
ball.
Bosa,
They've been without Brock Purdy for a long stretch of this year.
Facts.
Obviously, Kittle was in and out of the lineup. They have not had Braden Ayuk
all year.
They have gotten contributions from Kendrick Bourne and Sky Moore, and obviously Jawan Jennings has been really good.
Greenlaw lost in offseason. The Hufanga was gone. They lost a lot of pieces this offseason and coming into the season, bro.
Somebody a couple weeks ago asked me like, how do they keep winning games? And I told him like Kyle Shanahan,
Robert Saleh.
He's an excellent.
I know.
Him and
Listen,
Robert Saleh.
I understand and know that Kyle Shanahan has obviously not won the big one.
But he's still one of the best coaches.
He's still one of the best coaches, and honestly, it kind of is a duplicate career of the coach you have here in Kansas City. Couldn't win the big one, couldn't get there for a long time.
Done everything besides the last one.
Yeah, it took him a long time to get over that hump or whatever. If I was a Niner fan, to all my Niners fans, I would appreciate and applaud what Kyle Shanahan especially has done this year and losing a lot of his top stars on that team and still leading you guys to 11-4 wins. Yeah, this year is incredible. Incredible job.
Yes, they had an easy schedule, but it's still hard to do, man.
Yeah.
Without two of your best players, Ayuk being gone for the year, Ricky Parasol missed some games this year too.
Kittle missed games.
Like
CMC
somehow played the whole year, which I didn't expect that to happen.
Kendrick Bourne.
Mac Jones was winning them games at one point, bro. Like they've literally done everything possible. So he's easily a coach candidate for coach of the year. Not even close for sure.
And that coach of the year award is going to be a very interesting race, in my opinion, because
there's a lot of guys.
There is a strong argument for Mike Vrabel for what he's done with that Patriots team. In my opinion, that's having a top-notch roster. The turnaround,
Liam Cohen has a good chance.
Liam Cohen and what he has done specifically on the offensive side of the ball has been excellent, and you tell that Jaguars team really believes in itself. Obviously, Mike McDonald has done a spectacular job with the Seattle Seahawks, especially their defense, but on both sides of the ball and what they've been able to do up there in Seattle. I obviously mentioned Kyle Shanahan, and then Ben Johnson, like you said, it's for the winner of the Bears, first to first. And you just see Chicago fans are just over their skis. They have never seen an offense operate like this one has. It's insane to them to talk about it. So this is a very interesting coach of the year race, and I like those winners and losers as well. Let's go ahead and let's get into these mock drafts as far as this topic is concerned. So I do truly feel like there is two ways that the Chiefs draft can go. And again, we are obviously in December. We have a long way to talk about this even further as well. One thing I do want to mention, I'll have a kind of a video and then also a list going out as far as some offensive assistants that I think the Chiefs need to be targeting for their offensive coordinator position specifically. And I'll save that list for obviously after Christmas and after next week's games, just so you can kind of have that going into next week, specifically going to quote unquote Black Monday. So you can take a look around the league and see which coaching staffs end up getting let go and who may be targeted. Of course, obviously everybody's going to immediately go to Mike McDaniel. I will be honest with you guys. I'm surprised if they would fire him, only because I think he's a good coach. The way that
each season's ended, he's coached a lot better.
He's a good offensive coach, and he's had that team fight for him the whole way through. And you got to tip your cap for that. That's not easy to do as far as where Miami has been. And like I thought it was under Brian Flores, and like I thought it's continued to do for Mike, it's not a Mike problem. It's not a coach problem. I think it's a Tua problem. And obviously he's been benched, so we'll see where that goes. Anyway. Moving on, we can get into this mock draft, and obviously we will have our scouting series. Obviously, each of us taking on a group of the positions as well, talking about our favorite college prospects, some of the sleepers at each one. But we'll do this preliminarily just to take a look at what we may want to do from a mock draft perspective. And the Chiefs are currently in position to pick number 12. Obviously, we do have the ability to move up. I do obviously anticipate them losing to the Broncos. We will not talk about the game because there was really no point talking about that game unless we see Jalen Rose, Jeffrey Bassa, obviously
Smith,
Jaden Hicks, Brashard Smith. These young guys play for the love of God. We got a little bit of Zach Pickens, but not nearly enough in my personal opinion. So, we got to see the young guys play. And if they do play, then we will talk about it. But outside of that, there's no point in it. But yes, the Chiefs can move up. The highest they can go to 8. They need a lot of help to get to 8. more realistically, I do think that they can land in the top 10, specifically at that 10 spot. Again, need help, but it is somewhat realistic as well. So let's go ahead and get into this. As it currently stands, I do, like I said, I wanted to give you two
Makai
different
Lemon going
ones.
before Cardinal Tate is hilarious.
Yeah, that is nuts.
That would never happen.
I want to do two different ones. One that in which you take an offensive skill position, and then one in which you take a defensive guy. Obviously, kind of as you look throughout the board here, and we'll do the defensive guy for the first one here. Obviously, Kendrick Folk, Cassius Howell, really as the top two guys, and really the only ones worth first round pick in my personal opinion. And so Falk would be the easy pick for me here if we're talking about the defensive line. Do you guys have a different pick than Falk?
Either him or Howell.
It'd have to be any one of those edges. I like TJ Parker, but I don't think he's worthy of taking this high. I really don't think Howell or Falk are
high for them too.
This high too. But I obviously think they're the better of the edges at this point that's left on the board. So that would probably be the route that I go. Taking Cassius Howell, you're taking another hometown kid. So I mean, I guess it'd be another great story.
Way better than the last one, but no.
But yeah, I think he's a lot better than you.
I mean, most of the mocks I've been doing, Keldrick Falk's been gone at this point, so can't be mad at that one. Him and Bailey and Cassius were the only edges I would entertain in this area right here, so I'm not mad at Falk. We can do that one for sure.
Falk probably fits the size profile of what
Spags likes. He's definitely a Spags guy.
Yeah, certainly does, and I will say he does bring a little bit more explosiveness off the edge than typical Spags guy either from that perspective, which is nice. He is a long, athletic guy. He does have a rawness to his game, certainly, but I do think that he can develop into a difference-making edge. Can he get to the top level as far as those edges is concerned? A little bit of a question mark, but I do think that at the very least he could be a high end too, which is exactly what you should be swinging for as far as the Chiefs picking in this range. Pick 44, obviously defensive end being picked off the board. Do you guys have a particular place that you want to look? I know for me, defensive line will certainly be one of them. And then still offensive playmaker ultimately would be the other. Do you guys have another one? I guess corner. You guys want to add to that?
Corner, yeah. Corner would be the one.
Yeah, corner. So obviously AJ Harris, Elijah Surratt. Surratt is a guy that I certainly do like.
I like Surratt.
Coleman is a versatile running back that really it brings a lot as far as the pass catching aspect of it. Dante Corleone, I really like a lot as far as the interior defensive line. Max Clare would be kind of tight end too. I would not like him at this range. Obviously, other tight end stars, Emmett Johnson, running back. Any of these guys kind of catch your eye as far as what you want to target after going edge in round one?
Both of our running backs are still here, so I'm passing them down the line. No corners really jumping off the board for me here. I love Elijah Surratt. I don't know if the team is pressed to get a receiver as much as we want to. Even though I would not be mad at
the
Elijah
second
Surratt.
round, I don't know if they are.
Yeah, they're not here. I would not. Anthony Hill's a dog, but
yeah, I was like, you could,
he's a dog. Like
Anthony Hill Jr. is still sitting there.
He a dog. I would not be mad.
Listen, you want a linebacker that'll do some things for you for the foreseeable future next to Nick Bolton?
Boy, oh boy.
Boy, Anthony Hill would be definitely nice.
That boy can do everything. Can hit, cover.
I don't know, man. At this point, a guy like Michael Trigg wouldn't make me upset just because of the upside and his size of what he can
run for sure. Yeah. He ain't hands, boy, but he's a receiver.
Yeah, he's basically getting a receiver.
None of the run. I mean, like I like Jonah Coleman, but he's not like special enough to say like I have to take him right here. He's cool.
It's not a Judkins or a Henderson like last year.
Yeah, not like that value for sure. In this spot, I probably would just go Dante Corleone for real.
That's where I would lean, honestly.
Yeah, just get the best D lineman we have on our board for our grades, and then a lot of our other guys we like Darrell, Emmett, Claire, Stour. I think they'll all still be there for sure
until the next pick.
The next pick.
Yeah, Corleone really does fit the profile as a good compliment to Chris Jones, and I guess for in many ways, really, I should say also a good compliment to Omar Norman, as well. So
Playing next to him.
I think he makes a lot of sense, and
He
especially
builds the trenches.
yeah, and also
all
in
the
the future,
D-line help, boy.
yeah, in the future, if you did switch to a 3-4, you could also run him as a true nose tackle as well. Shout out to Big Citrus as well, Dominique Orange. Someone we'll be talking about as well as we get deeper into draft season 2. But we'll go with Corleone and then run this to the next pick. Well, we've got Jadarian Price and Eli Stowers as far as running back and tight end. Here, I think the board, you can open it up a little bit more to not just those premium positions, given the fact that we did that. I think you can look at safety, corner, linebacker, and certainly offensive playmaker, as we mentioned before. Let's see. Stowers, Emmett Johnson would be the two that jump off the board. I do really like D'Angelo Pons as well. Jay Rodriguez is very good too, but you may want to wait until linebacker. So any of these guys jump off the board for you guys?
I think this pick is, to me, is probably Stowers or Emmett.
Stowers or Emmett for me right here. I mean, for me personally, I probably would choose Emmett, but either one's cool.
Emmett's probably the more significant need. Stowers would be a nice luxury piece for you to have.
Fact.
In this offense. Yeah.
But yeah, I would go Emmett right here.
Is there give me 1 second, I'm sorry. Check something. Did he already go? No, they get dealt really far down on this board.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, bro. In all of our drafts, that's going to change. I think him and Stowers are both going to jump up by the time we get to the draft.
Yeah, by the time we get to draft season, I agree. We'll go with Emmett Johnson though. Really love him out of Nebraska, so definitely happy to get here. Kind of middle of the third round as well. Xavier Chaplin's kind of interesting tackle prospect. Wouldn't hate trying to try him out at the right tackle, but I understand why you wouldn't go there. So I think we'll open that back up. Tight end, wide receiver, we'll leave tackle on there. Cornerback, safety.
Yeah, safety for sure.
We'll throw edge on there just in case. Oh, and linebacker for sure. So Austin Romaine is an interesting linebacker prospect. Obviously, a little good out of K-State. Anybody else catching you guys' eye?
Kilgore, Schuler. Was Delp still here?
Yeah, like Kilgore. Yeah, Delp is still here as well.
Yeah, I'll be cool with Delp here as well. Like a lot of the guys we want, I think are still going to be here. So those are probably my top three: Delp, Kilgore, and Shore right here. Any of those three, I'll be cool with.
DG, anything?
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is just about positional value. I wouldn't mind Delp here too, just because of what he can give you as far as run blocking wise and pass and in the passing game as well too. I think he's that perfect combination of what you previously stated and what you would want in a tight end. I would kind of lean corner maybe here too.
And Takario is interesting.
Yeah.
I know they have Kilgore listed at corner. He's, in my opinion, he's more of a safety. I don't know why they've got him at corner.
This is our Chamari Connor replacement.
Yep.
And he actually can do the things that they asked Chamari Connor.
Exactly.
But Austin Romaine I wouldn't be mad at either. Just the way he could, like I said, providing next to if you end up losing Leo Chanel, you're gonna need another linebacker.
Which is definitely on the next pick. I would definitely be looking at that one.
Yeah,
but I think
go ahead.
I think the pick would be probably say.
I think we go. I would probably go Kilgore and then grab Delp. While we could fit him in, probably at a lot of value.
Are we in our back-to-back area? Oh no, never mind. There we go. Yep. Girl and grab Delp. That's a good slot right there.
Yeah.
Get Delp around, boy. That's such a great value.
The corner still on there. Probably unlikely that you could corner and safety both on there. Yeah, so we'll leave it there. So as we get down here, obviously at 190, after everything that we've done to this point, I would say that linebacker definitely sticks out as a, kind of.
Is our boy still there at linebacker?
Which one?
Harold
Perkins.
No,
Willie Gates Jr.
Perkins did go. Perkins did go.
Dang it.
I know Rodriguez
is gone.
Went right after. So did Romaine as well. Kendrick Lewis.
He will go to Tampa. Lucky.
Aiden Fisher. Landon Barton. Eric Gentry. Barton is a little bit interesting. He's a little bit of kind of got a little bit of Leo Chanel to his game.
Play on ball.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of Leo Chanel to his game.
I'm gonna do some more digging to the linebacker class. There's only like 3 guys I pretty much like, but they're all like top guys. So I'm gonna do some more digging once we get there.
Got a
on this list. I mean, if we're just gonna take value, I mean, I love McAllister out of TCU. Just looking.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not mad at Eric McAllister either.
I love his game.
They hate the short receivers, so
the bigger body for sure, which we did.
Bigger body wide receiver. I'm down for that as well. Let's see. You always pick Diego Pavia for God knows
wow.
Lord Jesus.
Don't even know why you
undrafted.
Yeah, really.
CFL legend.
I actually like Damian Wilson. I know that he's also kind of undersized, but
Aiden Fisher.
I like to get after the passer. I would like him as a designated pass rusher on this team. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's another linebacker.
Linebacker might have went. No, we still got Landon Barton. Let's. You guys got anything here that you want to target specifically?
Darius Taylor or Fisher, either one.
Okay.
Darius Taylor's a sleeper boy. I thought he didn't have the year I thought he would, but he's a versatile kid. Can do everything, catch, run between the tackles. He's physical.
I wouldn't mind tackle here either.
Oh, yeah, okay. Let's see if there's any tackles on.
Anybody sticking out?
No one specifically for me. Again, we haven't done preliminary scouting stuff. So
yeah.
To get through it, you said you like Taylor.
Either Darius Taylor, yeah. Him or Aiden Fisher, the kid out of Indiana.
Fisher was good.
We'll go Taylor, see if we can get Fisher, and that'll be a good way to wrap it up then.
Well, our running back room will go crazy. We got those 2. Oh my God.
That's good. All right. So a little bit of a draft wrap up, and then we'll do another one with an offensive playmaker first. But I tagged edge in the first pick, came back with defensive line with Dante Corleone. Important to add both those guys along the defensive line. Emmett Johnson, who I think will be a really good running back. Jalen Kilgore brings in, like he said, Shamar Connor type of role, then also has the ball skills, I should say, specifically that I really do like and we need badly in secondary. Oscar Delp, a really versatile tight end guy, can play in line in a really nice receiving threat. I think a really good complement to what is already in the tight end room. Makes a lot of sense and will be important if you're going to remake the offensive system to emphasize an under center play action passing game as well. Eric McAllister, bigger body tight end, wide receiver, I should say, out of TCU, which is nice. Darius Taylor, versatile running back out of Minnesota, a nice guy to add into the room for competition. Then Aiden Fisher out of Indiana for the linebacker room that needs depth infused back into it. So I like it. I like this draft right now.
That's a solid draft. Only thing would have been better. We could have got Bailey, but that would have made it. Got every depth piece we needed.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let me see. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Gotta save real quick so that we can go to the next. All right, and now we can do New Dark. Oh, we just downloaded there. I don't know. Anyway, we good. All right. So we'll do a quick one, and we'll roll through to do kind of a offensive playmaker. So Kenny Sadiq is there. Unfortunately, it looks like both the guys, Carnell Tate, obviously Jeremiah Love, both went off the board early. You guys want to re-roll it, or you go with Kenny Sadiq?
Not Sadiq.
I like Sadiq. I'm biased, but I like Sadiq.
Sadiq it is. And look, I know we sounded a little bit lukewarm on that aspect of it, but Sadiq is a very athletic, impressive playmaker out of Oregon. He can do the inline tight end stuff, but he also can do the isolation, can Travis Kelce type of stuff as well, which the team has missed. It's not to say that he's going to be a Travis Kelce level player, but he can do those sorts of things that has been impressed a lot of people as far as Coastal Loveland, as far as Tyler Warren, obviously Brock Bowers as well. So Kenny Sadiq, worthwhile offensive playmaker here. And then we get into the second pick. I think if you go offensive playmaker, you kind of almost have to, immediately go to kind of the defensive end. Or the defensive line, I should say specifically as well. Jagus is a guy that I've done a little bit. He's got a little bit of versatility to him. Obviously concerned as far as the trainer is concerned. Zion Young out of Missouri, an impressive guy off the edge in my personal opinion. I like him a little bit more than Jagus. Do you guys have a preference here along defensive line?
Either Zion or Coleon for me right here.
Yeah.
I know Zion's a little.
I like Darrell too, but I think it's too early for him.
I do like Darrell too.
But yeah, it'd probably be Zion.
Okay, we'll go with Zion. Okay, Mizzou product gets to stay home. So then we move on to pick 76. We've obviously taken Sadiq already. And running back onto the board, offensive tackle as well. I think obviously secondary comes into play certainly in the third round here. D line and linebacker as well. So with Weeks, obviously impressive linebacker at LSU, brings kind of all around game so they can cover. Emmett Johnson, as we did already take him. Darrell Jackson Jr. is also here, and so is D'Angelo Pons and Jacob Rodriguez. So all three of these guys would be really good defensive picks, in my personal opinion, at positions of need as well. Anybody stand out to you guys outside of those that are named?
I like Pons. I was very impressed what he did against Ohio State. Covering those guys. I mean, that's probably the elite of what you could get as far as NFL talent right now. And I think he held his own really good.
I know LJ Martin was hurt, but I do like LJ. But with Weeks has usually been gone on most boards. Me and DG been doing. So he hasn't been here, but I'm not mad at that one. Scroll down a little bit, DMac. Let me see.
I also wouldn't be mad at. I like Will Lee too. Out of Texas A&M.
I think CJ Fight. CJ Fight's going back to school, so he wouldn't be there.
Wouldn't be mad at Jacob Rodriguez either.
I would probably lean at my same Emmett, LJ, either one of those guys right here. Either one, I'm very fine with.
I personally would go towards the defensive side only because I feel like that's the side that needs a little bit more help. Personally,
yeah.
I think I would probably because
what was our second pick again?
Zion Young.
Yep.
Your picks. Obviously, I do like both Emmett and LJ. Emmett more so than
I like Darrell's on my board. Like if we picked him, I would be cool with that one too. He's on my board for sure. So. How tall is Pons again? Is he like a lanky guy or is he like an average?
He's about 6'1".
Okay.
If I remember correctly. Oh,
no. Oh shit! Never mind.
No. Why just plays so much
why
bigger?
You want me to drop the midget?
He just plays so much bigger than that.
He plays, yeah, and that was what I was saying when I saw.
Man, we struggling with Trent right now.
Hey, look,
we don't need any more midgets.
No, we can't go.
We can't afford no more.
He plays so much bigger than that.
Yeah, that's Jeremiah. Oh hell no, that nigga's short.
Bro, but he was out there doing.
He was dogging. You're right. He was hooping.
Like,
you're not lying. He was playing.
Like, I was impressed, bro. Even with
he played well. I remember him. Yeah, that's the dude that played with Jeremiah in high school. I remember watching. I remember the story. Yeah, bro.
And he's very, very, very.
Yeah, why he got to be 5'9"? Yeah,
he's just
I like. We can't afford more short corners, bro. We got a one limit. We already got one. We get
really impressive to me. We'll go Jackson Jr.
I'm
Country
cool
happy.
Yep.
Make country happy.
Country is giddy right now.
He's gonna be hype.
Got the Penn State running backs on the board here.
Both of them on the board. That's crazy.
Both on the board.
Talk about your value going down. Before this year, they were talking about both going in second round.
I like Malik Brown.
I like Schuler right here. I like
Malik Brown would be.
Yeah.
Ooh, just the Saints.
I do like Malik.
He could give you that.
We got to pick of the litter for running backs. You got both Penn State guys. You got Justin Haynes on the board.
A lot of value at running back here.
There's plenty of running back options. So we could literally look at anything else we would like because running back is like so many options after that. So
even Mark Fletcher is still there too.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got plenty of options at running back. This probably wouldn't happen in real life, but when you got this many options, you could easily look at something else before running back here.
All right, so we'll look at wide receiver, corner, safety, and linebacker.
Zachariah Branch would be the typical Andy Reid pick.
Facts. He's gonna do returns, all the specialty plays.
Boy, would it?
That would be.
I
like Kilgore here. That's probably mine.
A lot of people really like Bryce Lance as well. I haven't obviously had a chance.
Bryce Lance, how tall is he? 6'3".
He's a bigger wide receiver.
Trey Lance fighting. Oh, that's Trey Lance's little brother.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Takario Davis, he is your long, lanky outside press corner as well. But we can maybe wait on him if we want to, as well. Did any of the running backs like stand out to you guys out of that group that you were like, I need to have that guy?
It was the Penn State guys and who else?
Singleton would be the K-State guy.
He's a home hitter for sure.
I would want.
He's the best one on this list for sure, right here.
I think Malik Brown is you're kind of getting the best of both worlds. He can kind of do multiple things for you. I like Mark Fletcher too, but I don't think I would take him.
He ain't really that explosive for me.
Yeah.
I like Le'Veon Moss outside of the injuries. Obviously, he's been injury prone like hell, so I don't want to take the chance on him. Out of that group, Singleton would easily be the one for me. Home run hitter, can run between the tackles, physical back, can catch. I would like him right here. This is the first mock I've seen him be this available this late, so I'm never gonna be mad at her. That's Willie Gay Jr., a dumb athlete that can go out there and play and just go out there and just be fast, bro.
Whole bunch of different stuff, yeah.
I'm not asking you to be a Mike. I'm gonna ask you to run and hit, bro. And that's what he does very well. So. We've all had the dream of trying to get obviously Isaiah to come here, be a hometown kid to come back home. But if you get a guy like Harold, Spags would be in heaven playing with that kid. You could do so much stuff.
I don't know. I think I want to go Nicholas and just say
I
this
like
is a
Nick,
running
bro.
back pick here.
He would never be available this late. This would be crazy, bro.
Yeah.
4th round for these things.
Take him here. Secure that running back. Let's see right here. Corner, safety, linebacker. Still got Perkins on the board. I don't know, DG, how you feel about Trey. I do really like Takario Davis, as I said.
I like Trey. He could be one of those linebackers that could play kind of that Leo Chanel role for you, where he can play the sim and rush from the edge position, but also kind of be that stand-up linebacker. He's not great at it. As far as I think he's more of an edge rusher. If you're asking me, they tried him out like that at Texas, and I didn't like what I saw for real. So I probably would pass on him.
Fair enough. I'm down with some Harold Perkins Jr. action.
I'm with it, bro. We need that.
He's Willie Gay Jr. Like
bro, him,
with it.
Jeff, bro. You ain't never got to worry about Nick. We got 2 of the fastest dudes on the field with them 2.
Yeah, I don't believe my guy unfortunately made it to 190, which kind of sucks. I think you got to add a secondary piece, probably out of this group.
Is Michael Taft still here?
Your boy.
I did not see him ever come up on any of these things. Good question. Looks like he's not.
You can get Taft in the 6th round. That's extreme value. He probably already went.
Christian Gray. I like Christian Gray. Just because of the size.
Yep, he's got the size to him.
That's why I think he'd be a Dave Merrick
Michael
guy.
Taft would definitely be a true Spags guy.
He would be a Spags guy too. Yeah.
Taft went 124 for
He
it.
would go to the Bills, bastard.
Right.
Yeah, really. I'm down for some Christian Gray here.
I like Christian Gray, boy. I'll be interested to see what he tests at.
I'm about 65% sure that's the name of the character in 50 Shades of Grey.
Christopher Gray.
Pretty sure
it's like the most basic name ever.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see what we got. Based on that pick, we can look to add more in the secondary. Also pull up the wide receivers as well. We could also look at running back just to see if there's anybody there we really like. Yeah, we'll look at these. Kevin Coleman, I kind of like as a playmaker. And if you're taking him kind of in the 6th round, I get it. When you get into the 200s, you're just a guy to kind of fill out the back, and he could obviously return kicks as well, which it feels like we do need some help with. I would not hate that pick in the 200s. Any of these guys kind of catch you guys' eye?
Darius for me. I'm always gonna bang the table for him. Caleb Douglas.
Catalan really fell off the board.
Eric McAllister. Bud Clark hits me. He be smacking people. I ain't gonna lie. I saw a couple games from him. He be hitting. Yeah, this is probably either like a Darius, Eric, or Kevin spot for me.
Yeah, I can see it being Kelvin Coleman.
Kelvin for sure.
Just the return aspect of it. I know a lot of people don't want another. I guess you could say
we're tired of small guys.
Yeah, but the return
in the 200, I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
I think
it's all about value. So yeah, either him or Darius would have been a good pick.
Go there.
This is probably like the prime tackle spot developmental guy.
Is that Cage? Is that kid out of Boise State?
Cage Foster?
Yeah. He's not there no more, is he?
Probably gone.
Yeah. Yes. Scooby Williams.
Scoobs. I remember that kid.
Scooby Williams.
Sheesh. Slim Pickens.
Yeah. This would be like try to find like a diamond in the rough swing tackle or guard, somebody that could play multiple positions. That's why I would like to. Because we pretty much hit on every other position. So I would like to get like a developmental tackle or somebody that could play emergency if need be.
Is there any offensive lineman that you do like here?
Nobody popping out, but I'm sure
I still got to do a lot of homework.
I know a couple guys, but those guys are already gone. I got to look some more, but
I think you probably just got to go best BPA here.
Yep.
Probably. We already took Aiden Fisher, so I don't necessarily want to repeat that.
Right. Would you be mad at the center out of Oregon?
Could he play guard, or is he strictly a center?
I think he can. I don't know. I have to do more work on him as well too.
Yeah, to say that if he can move or not.
I was just thinking in the aspect if something happened to
did play some guard earlier, so he's got some experience there. Like I said, I think we do need to establish a backup center. I think that we haven't necessarily given Norzad the chance to do that yet.
I'm all for Samoans.
Yeah,
I like Samoans.
They're extremely strong.
French Edward Oregon center with some material off the line.
Go Ducks.
Like a good Samoan crash out.
Go Ducks.
So we got 2 Ducks. We got 2 Mizzou players. Kenyon Sadiq, offensive playmaker at the tight end position. Zion Young Edge. Darrell Jackson Jr. out of Florida State, defensive lineman. Nicholas Singleton, running back. Harold Perkins Jr., linebacker. Christian Gray, long, lanky outside corner. Kevin Coleman Jr., playmaker, wide receiver, returner as well. And then Iapani Lalu.
Yeah. Think about him and Kingsley next to each other. Samoans, it's my cousin right there.
So this would be the second draft, starting off with an offensive playmaker as well. So with that being said, nothing much else to really wrap it up on that as far as that aspect is concerned. I hope everybody does enjoy their Christmas. Do not allow the Chiefs to ruin your Christmas, because there's no reason to watch the Chiefs. They're just I don't know why you would bother doing it. It doesn't make any sense to me personally. That's just
watch basketball.
Watch basketball. Watch Stranger Things. Either one of those things would be a better
movie. It's an NBA day for sure.
You know? They're showing 24 hours of the Christmas Story. Watch that.
Watch Christmas
Story.
Not watch football.
Please don't watch football.
You do not want to watch Chris Oladuke throw the ball.
Whatever you do, don't watch football.
Unless you're a degenerate gambler like me and who's going to bet his unders.
I'm definitely betting unders and everybody else to win.
Unders and everybody else to win. Oh, what a time. What a time to be alive. So that's where we're headed. I hope you guys do enjoy your Christmas. As I said, we will be back next week talking a little bit more about the offseason previews, and we pray to God we will have some young guys that will actually get some run to talk about as well, for some season debuts, man. Anything else before we go in and get out of here, guys?
Enjoy your holidays. Merry Christmas. Love your families.
Yes. Make sure you get over to Underdog. Use code TRUTH3, $100 deposit match. Every single day they're rolling out holiday promos, free picks, boosts, entries. Make sure you guys get ready to go over there and enjoy that as well. Obviously, NBA in full swing, NFL winding down into the playoffs. Make sure you guys take advantage of that Underdog code TRUTH3 for $100 deposit match. So, without further ado, man, peace out. Enjoy the holidays. Go Chiefs.
Jeez.
Jeez.